other champions that are going to be in the thick of things and just ignore Longxing for a large portion of this.
Well, we are seeing, of course, we mentioned earlier, the volley bear going to be going into the hand.
Now, though, Wei Wei is making his way down towards the bottom side. No vision, but Xiaopeng will meet him in the brush.
Or Wei Wei will. In fact, there's going to be an immediate engage. First blood goes over to the Callista, and now Wei Wei finds himself in a little bit of a predicament as he tries to run himself away. Does have his flash should he need to go over the wall. May need to just use it. Yep. And has to lose his summoner for it. So, early advantage going to TT once again.
Oh, Xiaopeng's followed up, though.
Yeah, he's going to keep going for this one. This is a difficult one for Xiaopeng. The smite is there. It's good. Will he be able to do enough? No! Pudding picks himself up another, and that's 2 quick kills. But with the Gravitum, aiming is now here, and it's an all-out brawl around the blue buff. You can now see Zika going in, but deleted where he stands. And now TT have exploded onto the Rift with an almost 2k goal lead.
Vin get Ye access to this bottom side, especially when she hits 6, as Ye actually just has. You can then look to just lock up aiming, and between like putting CC, Sam, D, Xiaopeng there as well, that affiliate
and mid. So this is a very, very easy objective for BLG, and should be a good push towards equalizing that goal deficit. But now it's a little bit of a split setup. Wei Wei might have to ult over the wall. Nope, never mind. He's got himself a dark passage. But speaking of passages, they go in with the Lissandra trying to jump in on top of all these members now as we got the quickness to charm some people up. Zika flashing away. The Aphelios in with the Moonlight Vigil to try and ring this one back in the favor of BLG. Xiaopeng goes down. Zika is not afraid. Look at his health bar as he walks away. He has no fear in him whatsoever, and it's been completely turned on its head. 3 kills, maybe even 4, as Pudding's forced to flash over, and that's a perfect fight for BLG. Aphelios, you need Thresh because it just makes it so much easier to back away from that. And with Rift held in the mid lane, BLG are going to be able to take themselves a nice sizable chunk of gold in the lead.
Yeah, it's also a very good example of why when Rift Herald's up available for the other team, you don't hard commit to somewhere on the map that the enemy jungler isn't. Because this is when you're able to get first priority there, but now TT trying to fight. They don't honestly need to. They could just look to take 2 turrets mid instead, but they want to try and contest.
They want this soul point. The Rift Herald is pushing in that mid lane. Dragon resets, still at about 4,000 HP. There's a hook. It is going to see the Fate's Call to try and save out the support of Pudding. He goes back in, has the quickness. Maybe they look for the fight right here, right now. It's very, very split as the Thresh has been taken out. Now aiming, needs to try and kite this one away, but look on the backside, you can see Wei Wei takes out the jungler. That is the most important member of this squad when you're looking for this dragon. And now they look to try and take this one away, but they're kind of in 2 minds about it. They don't know what they want to go for. They don't know if they want to go for it, as Wei Wei gets taken down. The dragon has been secured as well, and TT are running BLG down. BLG just didn't know what they wanted to do.
It was all over the place. We said,
I think the big thing there, BLG clearly made a call to try and burst down the dragon, but there was no smite for Wei Wei, as we can see a hook coming out. Good flay, Pudding, and a lot of hurt, and is back to the Shadow Realm, and that might be a Baron take here. There is TP available for in that bot side, but BLG, they're barreling towards it. They may want to try and take this objective.
You can see Ye has gone for the reset now as well. He's going to have to TP in towards this fight. Longxing is on the backside, but it does mean that if PP God lands a hook here, there's no real tank here for the likes of Sam D.
Ooh, they have spotted him out. Longxing just kind of walks past everybody. Dragon down to about 7,000 HP. We can see Xiaopeng nearly gets hooked out there by the death sentence, but objective confirmed here by TT. They have stopped the Baron being taken, and they will be able to get this mid lane tier 1. So, looking now at 20 minutes into the game, coming up to 21, we have a barely even gold lead. But again, the big thing to notice is those 3 dragons that have stacked.
God, and TT are looking to burst down this Baron.
They have the Wrens stacked. They should be able to secure it regardless of what Wei Wei does. And now we'll see what TT want to do. Do they fully commit? Is this just a big Baron bait? You can have the crescendo to give them a little bit of one. We can see them going over the wall. It's secured by TT. And now they can take the fight. The Moonlight Vigil will only do so much. It just cannot do enough. It will take down 1, but they lose 2. And now BLG, they're falling apart. TT are capitalizing time after time over BLG, just making scrappy and panic decisions. Sam D as well. So the AD carries still feeling pretty good if a fight is to break out. Mundo is now here with his Frostfire Gauntlet. We can see now the Shrelly is going to be used as they try and maybe find out somebody. Bubu might be in a little bit of trouble though. No flash to get out, and he's dead. Now how are you going to contest this? You're 5v4.
Yeah, it's a complete disaster here for BLG. It's now done and dusted. TT should be able to get this, and I think this is where it becomes really hard for BLG as well, because when you're looking at these picks, I want to talk briefly, if I get a chance, about the combo between Anathema's Chains and Lysandra, because the debuff you get from the Anathema's Chains gives 30% increased decreased tenacity. So you end up having this 30% increase in the amount of time you're locked up. And when you should be back into the picture before this becomes a major issue.
That Q did so much damage there to Wei Wei as he goes in. Good CC buffer there from Longxing using his passive. Now with the Baron down to about 4,000 HP, do you go for this? Do you just try and burst this one down? Here we go. Moonlight Vigil comes over. It's Callista who gets it with the Rend. The Dark Passage immediately out does mean that BLG will lose nobody, but the Baron is still dead. Now Xiaopeng, he went a little bit too far, a little bit too hard, and PP God gets himself that kill. There's the Zhonya's here from Ye as he tries to keep himself alive. And this is the fella as I talked about. You can't underestimate the damage he will put out. Now Longxing, you are the tank. You need to keep this Callista and Rakan safe. It looks like he will. His briefcases are just filled with bricks at this point, and they are smashing the faces of BLG. But now, a couple of seconds until this Elder Drake has spawned. You can see Longxing trying to be a nuisance, trying to stop them from getting the resets.
Aiming, though, can take down this Mundo position where TT can follow up. So now, BLG back on towards this Elder Dragon. Baron still up and available, and Amy's caught!
Aiming, why are you by yourself? He has to use the stopwatch. The Dark Passage is not going to be taken. And now TT, they don't care about the Elder Drake. They can just run up mid.
And they're going to be able to try and close this out. They've got the creeps here, and they can try and make these picks. Keep your eyes on Ye. See if he's able to get on towards the back line of BLG. I mean, if he catches BuBu, this is lights out.
Oh, Aiming, you might have just lost your team the game. You cannot be getting caught out like that. And Wei Wei jumps in onto Ye, but he is just deleted, taken away from this world, and will not be seeing the light of day, at least in this game. The Nexus turret 1 falls down. Nexus turret number 2 goes down. And this is looking very, very good for TT fans. Cough, Kelsey Mover, cough, as they take themselves a 1-0 lead against BLG.
BuBu top side, and he's from these early stages to try and set him up nicely against this set in the top lane. But look, when you're looking towards kind of early skirmishes and early control of the map,
you used to see with the Udyrs, he used to hard farm, and with his lane pushing up, Aiming doesn't really know where he wants to go with this one. Pudding walks forward. They're going to use the tunnel. Aiming may have to flash. He does, but the flash in. They're going to have to use the grand entrance to get in front of the hook. But the good move there from PP God keeps his AD carry alive. TT nearly getting themselves an advantage, but double summoners are still good. He has his flash and his heal available to him, so it'll be very difficult for really anyone to get on top of him, but the flash grand entrance from PP God could be the name of the play. Just waiting for him to go forward just a little bit. The Rend is there to slow him down. You can see him now jumping in straight away with the grand entrance, trying to get on top of Pudding, but the hook is good enough as the flay is as well, but Pudding will be taken down. The Callista lands the Q as the Rek'Sai coming a little bit too little, too late. BLG strike first. But important to notice, BuBu just went back, so he'd have to TP into this fight. It is a 5v4 for the moment in favor of TT.
Xiaopeng's still only level 5 though, so still has to be careful.
Has to be very, very careful. There we go, flash forward. Zika might be in a little bit of trouble. Pudding lands the hook. Xiaopeng not able to get the knock up there as they go in, but he steals it. Nicely done there by TT. They get themselves away. Wei Wei not quite able to get his ultimate to knock back the jungler, and now he's going to fall. A return kill from the first blood for TT, and they get the Rift Herald. Perfectly done.
Towards Ye and actually get him out of this mid lane. Like, Ye can do so much work if this was a 3-man dive top lane, but Ye lets the play, and BuBu, oh, nice.
Oh, nicely done. Gets the showstopper down. There's the Hextech ultimatum. He's going to use the Void Rush, and Xiaopeng picks himself up a kill. While that was happening, BLG get themselves the first dragon of the game. They make the dive work, and they burn the summoner off the top lane. I think that that's a bit of a win for top lane, but again, dragon stacking, not the best.
Yeah, I mean, look, the dragon stacking at this stage, 12 minutes is the first one going down. You're not too worried here as TT. You're still going to be able to contest for a lot of these. It just means that you put a lot of pressure up towards top, towards trying to shut down BuBu. We're away here as TT.
Yeah, you see there the whirling death used to see, are they on it? They are in fact on it, but the TP is in. Xiaopeng is around. They're going to try and maybe turn this one around, as we can see Pudding force the flash away. Haven't finished off the Rift Herald just yet. Now we can see TT maybe going on to the side of this. Weiwei does get the smite down and does pick himself up that buff. Now the fight can really start as Xiaopeng is the first one to fall. The Silas picks up the shutdown on that one. The set is dead as well. Sam D trying to put down the damage, but he has to flash away. He's immediately caught, but has the dark passage to get himself out. The whip back from the distortion as forcing himself over the wall. Zika still full HP and hunting for kills as Sam D and the rest of his squad get themselves out, but it is a very much big win for the side of BLG. Is for anyone on the bot side, no flashes or for the mid laner either, and Xiaopeng now has his. Does he go for the engage? And goes in with a double distortion. We're going to see Pudding not able to get anything going for him. Xiaopeng just dies. I just don't... What is happening, TT? Why would you commit to that? Again, similar situation to BLG in Game 1. They just weren't on the same page.
And it was even a case of, like, if that went well, Pudding and Sam D weren't able to follow up. Like, Pudding had no flash to get over the wall to try and go for a hook. Sam D as well, so that was...
Them falter as now they look to try and maybe get something back, but Biu, he's on the Camille. He should be fine unless he decides to recall there. And now he's not so fine, because now he's in a little bit of a trouble. He's going to get caught up, knocked up, and trying to be taken down. Good fillet as Biu has to commit the Hextech ultimatum. Xiaopeng picks up his third kill of the game, and it's a consolation prize, but TT will take it. Don't fix it. They can just keep changing all the vision, keep pushing up a little bit further, making sure they're not taken down. But PP God is going to be blown up. Now Weiwei in a little bit of trouble. TP coming out here for TT. Not quite able to get the disruption there on top of Weiwei, and he's forced to flash after the black, as we can see now the Void Rush, but that is just Xiaopeng getting deleted again, overzealous on the play, and what started off so well just ends a little bit in disappointment.
The position to follow up, but now BLG, with no jungler available, will turn towards this Baron.
Oh, Pudding, he just gets completely caught out and taken down. But that being said, you're looking at Sam D, you're looking at this set, putting down the damage. Weiwei has no ult, he can't mitigate the damage, and that's Longsheng picking up a kill. You can see Zika now, after coming out of his Zhonya, Sam D just dissuading anything else from happening. Ends up being a trade of 1-for-1, but it was the jungler of BLG that died, so they cannot go for the objective.
Peak performance here for these fights with the Ravenous Hydra completed. He's incredibly strong. He's so good at locking down the likes of can't really threaten backline, and we're in.
We are in. We're going to see them jumping in straight away. Whirling Deck goes over. Longsheng trying to keep away, aiming as they go in for the Dragon, which is reset. And they're going to go back into it. It's going to be Soul Point, though, picked up. And now Sam D taking down all those stacks to waste. You invested in the wrong stocks, my buddy, and it just did not pay out. The dip was too strong. And now BLG on Soul Point can turn, burn, and look for the big purple worm.
And Zika just going to try and threaten here, get him pushed off, and BLG, the team fighting, looking far superior now. Now they're looking more on track, and it's TT who we're kind of looking at, holding our heads, going, what are you doing? But now still sitting off here on the side. I mean, you're not going to be able to threaten this as LeBlanc. Like, it's done for.
I like the idea. I also like the execution of saying, right, I've been spotted, I need to leave, because the only way I die is if they know I'm here, and recognizing that he was on a pink ward, that is going to be the Baron going down.
There though, which was trying to break the siege top so they could deal with bot, but looks like it may not give enough time for TT to move across as this powered up cannon minion is doing so much work. But yeah, BLG are doing a really nice job of freezing the wave before they start shoving to actually get these waves crashing at the same time. You can see the results here, right? You've got too many movements here for TT to deal with.
Oh, good hook there onto Weiwei. He's got knocked in by the ethereal chain. We can see Zika jumping in now as well. It's just chains after chains, a lot of hooks and crooks, but BLG are the ones that are coming out on top of all of this. They get themselves one inhibitor on top side. They're going to be able to take themselves two now in the bot lane. This might be the last stand here for the side of TT. You can see there the TP going to be coming in from Zika, but they do land the kill onto the recon. So that's one down. 4 more to go. Sadly, though, for the side of TT, Xiaopeng is on the wrong side of this map, and he needs to get himself home. He's not going to be able to try and find him. Ooh, just about able to get away from Zika. Knows that he's now safe, and they're able to just defend for another day.
When you come into the grand scheme of things, you just don't have a chance here.
I love the effort. A for effort for Sam D, trying to use the Whirling Death, seeing if he could catch out a little bit of a misrend or something, but was not to be. If he could find a flank, but I don't know if that's the position you want to be in just yet. And talked about the pseudo tankiness you get with that. Mountain Soul. It just becomes so difficult when you try to put in the poke down, and now the engage can really begin. Yay, Wei nearly catching on to someone, but not quite able to get the full flank, and actually going to see a little bit of a turn here. Thresh is the first one to fall. There goes Xiaopeng. Longqing left in no man's land. Even with the haymaker, he's not able to land his mark, and that is going to be enough for the side of BLG to jump straight onto Sam D, take him down, add him to the KDAs, and my friends, my audience, and everyone watching, we are going to a Game 3 in our first series of the day.
Yeah, BLG will manage to take down the Nexus here, and it's all she wrote for TT in game number 2.
And really interesting to see him going for it, specifically into the Viego and the Xin Zhao as well.
Yeah, it's very much a kind of like hit and run style matchup for the Jax in the top lane, where you to take the super aggressive early trade. And although Longqing got some good trading back off that level 2 spike, the fact he's not playing to... Ooh, hang on, aiming.
Oh, we are going to see the flash from aiming. He's not quite out of it just yet. First blood going over to Sam D. Finally gets himself a kill on the AD carry after a very, very long game too. And that's just a great opportunistic moment there for the side of TT. They force the flash, they force him to teleport as well. And now we'll see what Wei can do on the other side.
The game, so Rift Herald is on the cards, which is why we're seeing all this aggression topside.
Oh, we're seeing it now coming in. We are not going to get the stun down, but the Hextech Ultimatum is enough to put down the Ignite as well. We're going to be able to get an easy kill for BuBu in that top lane. Zika had roamed all the way from mid to that top lane as well, and we can see the flash away from the Zenith Blade here for TT as they try and just keep this one alive, but 2 kills for the Camille, and now we're starting to see the resets come in here for Zika. The rest of TT back away, but I feel like you don't need to trade that. You have the Aphelios pushing. You can just make the cross map.
Yeah, you don't need to commit everything to the play. And this is why, again, like bringing it back up, although TT have a pretty high Rift Herald control, I think they're 6th in the league right now, if I have that correct. Sorry, they're actually 3rd in the league when it comes towards first Rift Herald control. Like, they get that a lot, but they're almost 1,000.
Matchup like an Aphelios Thresh, because there's just so little kill threat onto you. There's so little reason for you to walk up and be in a position to get caught that it does mean you can be left on your own to just soak up the waves, soak up the farm. And while that was all happening on bot side, we see there Wei using it as an opportunity to drop Rift in mid, get some more gold into his and Viego's back pockets.
You end up in a spot here as TT where you have to make plays to salvage this, and it's not working out.
They are looking to try and make the play right now. They land the Aphelios, trying to flash forward, landing the Death Sentence down. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb to try and just dissuade anybody else. But a nice little move there from TT, recognizing, like you said, they needed to make a move, and they did. So despite the pick in the mid lane, despite the good reaction, you could say, to TT to be proactive, they end up coming out on the back end of that with literally very little in terms of global objectives. That being said, they're going to try and commit onto the Hextech Ultimatum of this BuBu, but in a 1v3, he comes out with a 1-for-1. That is not worth TT.
Now, I'm surprised he even managed to. Xiaopeng didn't have the subjugate available, so not able to get rid of the resistances. Divine Thunder just being completed by BuBu, whereas Longqing hadn't reset. He was sitting on a phage, was below half HP, so BuBu, with the big spike coming through off that Divine Thunder, was able to finish off Longqing. And now, yes, third plate's going to TT, but bot lane turret just
know that the wave clear comes from the Ziggs. If he's just throwing bombs, he's not dying. And as I say that, Solar Flare does get landed. Super Mega Inferno Bomb now does a little bit of damage, and that is putting on the floor in a puddle. Now we can see the rest of the fight really come in. Zika jumps in on the backside. Sam D needs to get himself out of dodge, but they will take down Wei. It's a 1-for-1 trade. The Moonlight Vigil is a lot of damage, but not enough to take down the rest of these health bars. And now TT, they may look to try and capitalize on this moment and get some control around this Dragon Pit.
Yeah, you gotta back away here as BLG. You're incredibly low. Yeah, is hunting off the side. PP God is sticking around just in case they try to hard engage onto it. Even the minefield gonna do a hell of a lot of work in those jungle corridors as well as... Okay, that's half of Pudding's health gone.
There's half of his health definitely gone, as we can see the minefield just used there a little bit. The distortion in there from Does he get caught off? He does. The Hextech Ultimatum follows him as well. And that's Ziggs picking up a kill. And with these chains, Sam D needs to use a Dark Passion to get himself out. But Xiaopeng, being a little lazy and walks a little bit too close to the sun and gets himself burned. And now we're looking at inhibitors going down in favor of BLG. They won't want to take this, though. It's a little bit too early for that. You do not want to be giving them free gold and free XP with that pushing wave. So they let the Rift Herald die and they back themselves up. Well, we'll see if any mistakes do end up happening. Midwave was pushed in by the side of BLG, so they'll have first move onto this bot side. Wei jumps back in onto the LeBlanc, but nothing really happens from there. Satchel Charge has been used. Solar Flare does not land. Super Mega Inferno Bomb, though, does a hell of a lot of damage. It's actually zoning out Sam D. He's not in this fight, or excuse me, yeah, is not in this fight, as Sam D is just trying to kite this one back. He's so low. He's still trying to do it, but he's not quite able to. They're just too far behind. Yeah, does his very, very best, but he's just not got the damage to take anybody down. It was close until it wasn't. BLG will get themselves onto Soul Point. They'll also be able to pick up 4 kills, trade it for 1, and they may look to turn and burn for Baron.
Out of control now for TT, and only a matter of time before BLG close it out.
8,000 gold, going to be turning into about 8.5, 9 very, very shortly. We'll have a look at the replay of that fight once this goes down, but Pong is almost there. Not quite in time, but does something for his team, but oh dear, he's got a bit too far forward. Zika is here. This will be a 1v1, but it's a level difference in favor of BLG's mid laners. Longxing gets solar flared up. Zenith Blade, Super Mega Inferno Bomb comes crashing down, and there's just not really a lot that the top laner of TT can do about that.
And the top half of the map is just too strong for BLG right now, as hold on, there's the pick.
Yep, they're going to go for on top of BU, and he is going to fall. And this is where it gets a little dicey, though. They are taking down another inhibitor turret. The inhibitor still stands, which means there isn't a constant push pressure here for the side of BLG. Now the push coming in from TT, they're saying, look, we know you're not going to try and go for the end just yet. We know you're going to try and reset, and they're going to try and pick up some little bit of gold. So still life into TT, still pushing to see if they can get that 3-item Aphelios and turn this game around. For that Infinity Edge here for Sam D. Once he's able to get that, they might be able to turn this one around. Having a traditional AD carry and be able to catch people like this is how you get back into the game. They're going to see the Zhonya's go down. They're going to want to try and give this one over to Longxing, and they will be able to get that one down. And now we start to get a little scared. Feels that it's going to be BLG first on the Dragon. They're going to try and turn and burn this one as quick as they possibly can. PB guy gets jumped on. They have got enough kind of people to keep them away, and now the Dragon Soul goes in favor of BLG. Can you take this fight, though, as TT lose themselves their support? There's the Moonlight Vigil to do 1, but it's just not enough. It's not going to be able to get them out of this hole, as BLG get the Mountain Soul, they get the Ace, they get absolutely everything they could have wanted, and they're going to be able to end the game.
And that's going to be all she wrote. BLG, they play that slow. They keep aiming safe. And it means that with that Mountain Soul, they can close out this series.
It was shaky in Game 1. Game 3, definitely looking a little bit better, as BLG get themselves a long overdue win in this series, and they are going to send themselves to 6-4, a much better scoreline heading into the latter half of the season.